Welcome to The Terrible Take, a mini podcast telling Steelers Nation what's on our mind. I'm Dave Bryan. Last week, the Pittsburgh Steelers re-signed quarterback Joshua Dobbs to a one-year contract, and as expected, that deal was for just a little more than the minimum. While Dobbs' re-signing did not send shockwaves through the NFL, it was a good signing by the Steelers nonetheless, and here's why. For starters, Dobbs has spent all but one season of his NFL career with the Steelers since the team originally drafted him way back in 2017, and that means he knows the team's culture and most of the personnel. He's also a rocket scientist and thus likely one of the most brilliant offensive minds the team has under contract currently. He knows new offensive coordinator Matt Canada well after the two spent quite a bit of time together last season, so whatever changes there are to the playbook and scheme, Dobbs should be able to pick up quickly and, more importantly, be able to pass along things to the rest of the less experienced offensive players. The re-signing of Dobbs also provides the Steelers a legitimate quarterback to push newcomer Dwayne Haskins during the remainder of the offseason. While the signing of Haskins earlier in the offseason was a risk-free move with really only upside attached to it, the former first-round draft pick out of Ohio State couldn't and shouldn't be allowed to think he's a lock to be on the 53-man roster come Week 1 of the 2021 regular season. In short, expect Dobbs to give Haskins a run for his money this summer, and that battle between the two should be fun to watch. Lastly, an NFL team can never have too many experienced quarterbacks under contract during the summer and even beyond. The Steelers found out the hard way a few years ago when they traded away Dobbs just prior to the start of the 2019 regular season, only to have starter Ben Roethlisberger go down a few weeks later due to a season-ending elbow injury. While the results of the 2019 season might have ultimately been the same, it would have been interesting to see how that last bit of the 2019 season would have played out had Dobbs been the backup to Mason Rudolph instead of Devlin Hodges. We'll see if the Steelers ultimately draft a quarterback next weekend. If they don't, and odds are good they won't, that would certainly help Dobbs' cause out. If the Steelers do draft a quarterback, Dobbs might be on his way out of town prior to training camp getting underway. Who knows? Maybe Dobbs will beat out Haskins for the number 3 job this summer. If he doesn't, however, perhaps the Steelers will ultimately carry Dobbs on their practice squad should it be deemed necessary for them to carry 4 quarterbacks in total in 2021. Regardless of what happens moving forward into the offseason, the Steelers' decision to re-sign Dobbs was a solid one. Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com and check out episodes of The Terrible Take every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out The Terrible Podcast with myself and Alex Kozora every Tuesday and Friday.